one of the female students ended up asking me this brilliant question. We are ready and we are willing to support this change against all allegations of saffronization, Sanghikaran and Bhagwakaran and all that. When we are willing to support it, why doesn't the government, let's say, trust its own support base when it comes to this? Having come to power twice with fantastic majorities despite the opposition and not because of the opposition. So there I think perhaps a certain degree of Chintan must go as far as the state is concerned.
No, absolutely. And if I can add to that, in fact, I have a bit of note as well. You see, our governments are always concerned with opening the eyes of people who are pretending that their eyes are closed. उनकी आँखें वो खोलना नहीं चाहते और हमारी आँखें खुली नहीं हैं. And I'll tell you the biggest example of that. The author of a book is sitting right here, Sanjeev Sanyal, very good friend. For practically all my life, I was about to say all my life of 30 years, but obviously it's more than that. I believe that after Ashoka undertook the Kalinga war and he killed 1 million odd people, he saw the destruction, he was so distraught and he said, what have I done being a Hindu? I convert to Buddhism. That's wrong. Sanjeev shows that he was already a Buddhist for 4 years before he undertook the Kalinga war. Now, that is something that I want to hunt for the guy who gave me that false narrative. I want to really, I don't know, I'm a non-violent man by nature. But, something that has stayed with me for 40 years and stayed with, I would say, 99% of people. कि भाई इतना डिस्ट्रक्शन उसने किया फिर उसने इतना उसको बुरा लगा and he said, oh, I have to convert, I can't see all this thing. Just imagine what people would think what Hinduism is and what Buddhism is. And the fact is he was already a Buddhist. These are the things that, we've not been taught. And I'll give you one example. Meenakshi ji mentioned about Persian. Do you know every Hindu king used to use Persian in his seal? It was this thing. One king said, I'm going to change it. Can you name that king? Chhatrapati Shivaji. Before that, all Hindu kings also used to use Persian. And I went to... Pune and you had Rawat Dada and he showed me that, it was really one of the most thrilling experiences I have. Incidentally, a museum that is... hopefully the government would do something, well, okay, not the government, but some philanthropist could do something because it's really run down and they are so eager, they are so excited about their collection. But unfortunately, it is at such a place where no visitor comes. It was really a remarkable place. But coming back to Shivaji and coming back to the kind of history we've been taught and the historians we've been eulogizing, I shouldn't take the name, but what the hell, Ram Guha. You know the time, I think 5 or 7 years ago when Aurangzeb Road was renamed, incidentally to Abdul Kalam. So obviously it wasn't renamed to Savarkar, patani, explosion would have happened. But even then there was so much of protest. And Ram Guha wrote an article on why it should not be renamed or there should be no Delhi road renamed after Chhatrapati Shivaji. So he was not only protesting that Aurangzeb Road is being renamed, he was crying buckets. He was saying no road should be renamed or named on Chhatrapati Shivaji. And these are the 3 reasons that he gave, these celebrated historians. These are the 3 reasons why the renaming of New Delhi roads after figures such as Shivaji is a mistaken idea. The first is that it shall feed into the majoritarianism that has become a creepingly dangerous presence in our body politic. So you can forgive that, Guha chalega. Anybody is free to have his opinion. And coming from JNU, I know what all these opinions are worth. A second and more important reason not to honor the likes of Shivaji in India's capital city is that he was essentially a regional figure. The man who birthed an empire from Plassey, from Peshawar to Plassey, is being called a regional figure. These expressions of Maratha pride make some sense in regional contexts, less so in the capital of our large and diverse country. The third, and indeed the most important reason why we should resist the renaming of New Delhi streets after Shivaji is that he was a lord in an age of feudalism, endorsed wild caste hierarchies and consolidated scriptural and social practices which led to the subordination of women. He's talking of Aurangzeb, eulogizing Aurangzeb and, talking like this of Shivaji. And the coup d'etat is that when he wrote this article saying no road should be named Shivaji, there already exist 3 roads in Delhi named after Shivaji. So much for fact checking. But